All right. So we're going to be talking about Tekken 8's Arslan Ash, who's a very talented Tekken player. He's been playing Tekken from, I'm assuming, for a long time. And I just had this pop up. I know it's a few days old now, but I just had it show up on my feed and I wanted to talk about it. Because this is nothing new to Mortal Kombat fans, at least true Mortal Kombat fans. Arslan Ash says, the state of Tekken is extremely volatile right now. The more I play the game, the more depressed I become. It feels like the game has devolved into a single launcher followed by a 50-50 mix-ups, and that's it. The game needs systematic changes more than balanced changes, in my opinion. And we'll read some of the comments in a moment. So basically, first time. I mean, to be fair, right, from what I understand, Tekken has always been Tekken. Now, I know one dude, Breezy, who's just, he calls it Casino 8, because it's just too random, right? I like the old days, and I don't know enough about Tekken to know this. Maybe somebody can tell me. But I don't like the idea of 50-50s, right? I just don't. I like old school fighting game where you knew where a person's combo was going to go, depending on what they were doing. You knew exactly how it was going to flow and end, right? Don't like 50-50s, right? And so you can have a few combos in your arsenal, but 50-50s just, I don't know. It's just annoying. And MK1 is really it is the absolute pinnacle, if you will, of, how bad, the game actually can be when it has, some of these characters literally just have that. And the goal of MK1 is to get you off the ground. Now, when I play Tekken 8, like Tekken 8's okay. Like it's fun. Certainly my opinion has changed over the last year. Given everything that's happened, not only with things like, their monetary practices, going after modders, but what I've noticed is that it always, now I could be wrong, but it seems to end up in the same way, right? Get them up in the air and hold them up there for as long as possible. Now, I didn't play a massive amount of Tekken 7 online, but I don't remember it ever being like that, right? Maybe some people that more experts can let me know, right? And so I decided to load up Tekken 7 just to have a little go through the arcade, just to have some footage on the screen. And it does feel different. Even just from a casual perspective, it definitely does feel different. This is captured on PC, by the way. It definitely does feel different, right? And like, to sort of like, again, from a casual perspective, it kind of feels maybe more Tekken, right? Let's read the comments. Arslan, I'm being so thousand when I say this. How can you all play Tekken 7 for longer sessions than Tekken 8? I enjoy the system mechanics added, and they make the matches feel dynamic. Tekken 7 is so boring, and you're just waiting on attack timings. Doesn't even really matter the move. Well, isn't that part of what made Tekken amazing? I mean, this is stuff that I've been told. Tekken has always been more of a defensive game, right? You charge in, you got a greater chance of them countering you because, you're throwing yourself out there. And at the same time, you're also waiting for them to sort of make a move and mix up and mess up so you can take advantage of it as well. Basically, fighting games 101. But Tekken really was just, it sort of had that in the bag. And then from what I've seen, whether it be pro players or just casual, that they've really mixed it up, right? Maybe they thought it was too boring to watch in matches and they were trying to make it more dynamic or more exciting. But this is half the problem with esports, is that, like at the end of the day, most people are watching it, most people aren't competing. So if you make a game that a lot of people aren't exactly gelling with, just to cater to a few thousand people that may watch on the odd, whether it's one or two big tournaments a year, give or take, what difference is, what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like, if that's their reasoning for it. I agree. It has its fun moments, but too often a round goes down to one launch, then chip and mix with heat. I hope they change a lot next season. That's the other thing too. Now, I don't know if there was chip damage in previous Tekkens. I don't think there was. But Mortal Kombat's had it since day one. So again, first time. right? And I'm not shitting on Arslan. I actually fully am on his side. I may not know the ins and outs of Tekken, but I understand what it's like to have something that you love. To my perspective, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, especially now, to be so radically changed that it just sucks ass. Since earlier I've talked about this, and for now, regardless of the player's level, almost all people feel the same. Finally, Heat should have the ability to bolster defense in some way. Honestly, you're right though. The game can be fun in bursts, but after a couple of matches, you see it for what it really is, a coin toss simulator. Or as my mate Breezy calls it, Casino 8. The game is okay, but if you play for more than 1 hour a day, welcome depression. Sorry for pro players. Wasn't it much worse in Tekken 7? Difference being that it was also more boring. But if you're a Tekken fan, like, I never got bored playing previous Tekken games, right? And I played a lot of Tekken 7, knowing that Tekken 8 was coming out, and I had a lot of fun with it. Again, I'm not an expert, but it was a lot of fun. And I don't know, I mean, again, sort of my favorite fighting game in the last year actually is Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, right? Now that could change. That could have some strong competition with Fatal Fury coming out. And I haven't really delved too much into like Under Night as well. But that seems like a really solid fighter as well. But it's sort of funny how, like, you know, I mean, Street Fighter 6 I think is still the king. Like, you know, they have really, you know, tried to keep the baseline and then just, you know, mix it up as they do with every game. But it seems like Tekken 7, I don't know, would they like, I've seen this a couple of times now, boring. It's like, who cares if it's boring to watch? Maybe it's boring to play, but maybe you're just not into Tekken, I don't know. The main reason, because I didn't play more than 80 hours. Launch it into massive wall carry, into a 50-50, being that it was also more boring. Oh, hang on, sorry, I was reading two things at once. Oh, no. I kind of was. Launcher and a massive wall carry into 50-50 at the wall is basically Tekken 7 since Season 4. Well, somebody have to let me know below. None of this stuff applies to you, Blue Ranks, and the replies. Stop nodding your heads. I said it before the game was released. Way too aggressive. Homogenous characters. Everyone is aggressive. Stance rush down on crack. Too many safe moves. Too many 50-50s. Too many power crushing moves that remove rage arts. I get your frustration with Tekken's current state. Relying on single launch combos and 50-50 mix-ups makes the game feel repetitive. That's actually one thing I have found. Just like with MK1, right? If you and I've used this analogy before for those Tekken fans out there, I've used this with Mortal Kombat. It's like a car with no brakes, right? So you give this car, it can go super fast, but if you give it no brakes, then once you hit top speed, you know, one slight movement either way and you're just going to crash, right? You haven't accounted for what you're going to do at that top speed. What's going to happen? Have you got airbags? Have you got brakes, right? Have you got, what's that that system where it kicks in case it crashes? You know, the car brakes for you automatically, right? This is why I quit Tekken. After playing the Tekken 8 beta version, I saw the downward spiral the franchise as a whole was headed toward and took an early exit before the game released. You know what I'm looking forward to? What I really am looking forward to? Virtual Fighter. If they announce a new Virtual Fighter, that could possibly poach people away to the true king of 3D fighters, right? Because if they make a Virtual Fighter in the modern day and just make it Virtual Fighter but like updated graphics, I think it's going to be a massive win. I think it's going to be a huge win. I'm really enjoying the new systems. I just want a much bigger focus on parries for the next game. Give me combat straight out of an action movie with follow-ups from parries, deflecting attacks instead of traditional blocks and more evasive techniques. This is kind of why I like it though, question mark. BO5 or BO5/60 second rounds, keep it fast and aggressive. Best of. One mistake, I'm assuming that's what it stands for. One mistake could cost you a round, but also have wild combat mechanics like health regen, heat, and rage. People still blaming Elisa for all the evil in the world. If the wall carry you, that a problem. You gotta embrace your mentality from months ago, bro. This is back in April. When I stopped thinking I was the best player and started enjoying the game as a newbie, everything changed. Embracing this mindset has helped me improve and truly enjoy playing. I know it's challenging. Listen, we've all tried that. I've tried that with Mortal Kombat 1, even just as a casual. Right? I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give it a go. I'm just going to give it a go. Right? Don't play Combat League because that's literally like injecting AIDS. So let's just, leave that alone, right? No, there are fundamental issues with the game, and I don't think people should be shying away from it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Catch you next time.